Go.
Okay, hello. So this is my audience right here. There's 4 people here in the back, and then there's 1 person here. So this is a 5-person audience. So yeah, everyone here is having a good day today. So, and these are my note cards here. You can't really see too well, but okay. So imagine if you guys bought a car like for $10,000, right? And then later on you figured out that the person that sold it to you bought it for $5,000. You'd be pretty upset, right?
Yeah.
So, because that's not really okay, because they made a profit off of you. So you can kind of relate this back to cell phones, because cell phones are actually being sold more than it costs to make them. So they're being sold for a lot more. So, okay, according to a study done by Device Atlas, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6s together were the most bought phone in 2016, and it cost $549 to make it. And the phone comes with a charger, the phone, and headphones. Okay. And Apple sold 23 million of these in the first week combined. So if you look at that, worldwide, Apple made $126,270,000,000 in the first week of sales just from those 2 phones worldwide. So that's a really big profit, especially for a large company like them. And I'm pretty sure they made a lot more than that. So according to a research done, a teardown research, which is like they strip and take apart the whole, it's like a hands-on research thing, by a company called HIS, it actually only cost $211 or $200.11 to make an iPhone. So that's actually less than half. Wow, that's less than half of the selling price. So if you imagine the $126 billion and 270 million, it only cost them less than that to make that. So they made more than double of what they paid. And it is legal because of our economy for them to do that. They can choose their own price. So it's not illegal for them to do that. But if you really think about it, it's not right, because Apple is taking advantage, like phone companies, like just like Apple. So Apple is like, they have the most selling, they sold the most phones in 2016. So it's like they're taking advantage of their customers because they're selling their phones way more than they're actually worth. And that's not exactly right. So today, phones are a modern part of society. So, everybody has phones, from like lower class to middle class to upper class citizens. Everybody has a smartphone now. So Apple and like these other companies, some other companies are like Samsung or Nokia, they know that there's a market for cell phones. So they know that people are gonna buy it because it's the modern age, So phones are a great tool now because you can do a lot of stuff. Like you can use like a calculator to help you do math, and you can use it. Phones come with internet, so that's like a great tool because you can look up so many places. If you want to go somewhere to eat, it can help you get somewhere by using like a GPS, and they do so much. They help you stay in contact with people. Like you can download apps like a Facebook, where you could maybe stay in contact with people that you went to high school with and then you've grown up, and then you can find them. Or like an instant right away, you can text somebody or call them to see like where they are if you need to meet somebody. So they really help you stay in contact with people. And so this right here, what I have is an iPhone 6s, and this is what would be sold for $549. As you can see, this is the product, and I'm sure you've seen one before, but I'm gonna pass it around, so you can take a look at it, because yeah, so that's like the most sold phone of 2016. And if you see how much money just that one company made, you can imagine that there's more than one company, and all of the money made just based off of phones. But a lot of people, back to what I was saying, a lot of people, they're actually at a disadvantage because they can't afford the phones, because they're actually like pretty expensive. And it's like as if in modern society everybody should have one because it's such a great tool and it can really help you in all kinds of situations. Also, the price that they're sold at is a danger, because people on the streets, they know what a smartphone is valued at. So they know the value, and they know that they can make a profit from reselling it. So they go and they steal, they rob other people's phones, and they steal them from companies and all of this, and they mug people on the streets, and they're endangering people's lives to take their phone just to make a small profit, you know? So they're really putting people's lives at risk. And that's what they make. Maybe they could sell it for maybe a phone for 100 or 500 if they're lucky, but that's not even a fraction of what the company makes. So they're putting people at risk for something that's not even worth that much. And so if the companies were to lower their prices for what phones were sold for, then the crime rates related to phone thefts would go down, because they would see that it's not worth it to try and resell, because they wouldn't make that much of a profit. I'm not saying people would still steal phones and sell them, but it would be less likely to happen because not as many people would do that. So if you really do think about it, phones nowadays, they're just not worth what they're being sold for. They're not worth the price. So we're spending extra hundreds on it just because if it's an iPhone 6 or 6S is really worth it takes $200.11 to make, then we're spending an extra like about $300 just because of the name brand. So that's why I believe that the prices of cell phones should be lowered. Thank you very much.
I agree.
I agree too.
Amen.
What a great
Good night.